Hey guys, it's Marci from Coffee with Marci. Welcome to the show. We have a special show today. We are at my home and we have a cooking demo with Sarah Wragge and Erin Perret.
Hi.
And Sarah here is a holistic nutritionist and Erin is a holistic chef. And they are going to show us how to cook a fabulous meal that is healthy for us and do it in minutes. So that's what we're excited about. We're all busy ladies and we need to know how to do this quickly.
That's right.
And we want it to be healthy.
That's right. It's all about being simple.
Exactly. Yep. So one of the things that I really want to know and share with everyone, what is holistic exactly?
Holistic speaks to the whole person, a 360 approach, mind, body, soul. It's not just about like what you're eating and when you're eating it, but it's really about connecting mind and body, and really being aware of, like, having awareness around food. Do you need to eat? Are you hungry? It's not just lunchtime and it's time to eat. It's pointing to, you know, being more mindful and keeping that kind of perspective.
And Erin, what do you want to add to that as far as a holistic chef?
Yeah, I mean, I think my whole thing is just, getting as much nutrients out of the food that you're eating as possible. And that's sort of my approach to all of these recipes is simple and easy, but also the most nutritional bang for your buck.
Right.
Also,
Yeah,
so that we're nourishing our bodies, but also our minds so that then we can be our best selves, our best parents, our best, co-workers.
I love how it connects mind and body, the whole mind, body, spirit type of thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, well, let's talk about what we are going to have today. That's exciting.
Our menu is awesome today.
Yeah.
So who's
go ahead.
sharing? Erin?
I'll
The
go.
chef will share.
Yeah, so today we're doing sort of meal prep 101 and how you can easily, come home from work at 5 or 6 o'clock. You've got so many different balls up in the air. What can you just open the door from your fridge and prepare a nourishing, wholesome meal in under 15 minutes? So it's all about.
Is that possible?
It is if you set yourself up for success before that busy night. So today we're making coconut chia pudding with a bunch of yummy toppings. That's great for a snack or also a really quick breakfast, go out the door. And then we've got a massage kale salad that Sarah and I are obsessed with, so we'll show you that a little bit later. And then we're doing these Moroccan nourish bowls with roasted carrots, chickpeas, quinoa, and those are sort of things that's components. So you'll see then how we assemble it all together, and that's how you do the 15-minute dinners on a weeknight. And then we're also doing these matcha pistachio energy bites.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I love the names.
Very creative names.
That's very creative. And it also sounds like it's going to be beautiful food. So I really think that when food is visually appealing,
Yes.
that it's more satisfying.
Absolutely. People always talk about eating your colors.
Yeah.
Eat the colors of the rainbow. Everything you're going to see today is very colorful, lots of reds, blues, greens. Kale is obviously antioxidant rich, vitamin A, D, and K. Chia seeds are an incredible vegetarian food. Chia seeds are a superfood, and they also expand and turn into a gelatinous property. So they keep you full. If somebody comes to us and they're like, listen, I'm training for a marathon and I'm a vegetarian, chia seeds are your go-to food. They provide, protein and they are carbohydrate rich. So, again, everything that we're cooking today, serves a purpose and actually does something for your body, fuels your body. Not only does it taste delicious, but it's real food that's actually doing something.
It's working for you. And I think that's one of the things that people also miss is how vital protein is.
Yes.
And these nutrients that you put in their body,
Correct.
in your body, and what they can do.
Yeah, and you don't always have to get your proteins from animal sources.
Yeah.
Everything we're going to do today is vegetarian, and obviously you can build protein sources on top of that, but you can get so much protein from just plants.
We are going to find out how to prepare coconut chia pudding. Sounds delicious.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about first what it is that you're going to do.
So coconut chia pudding, chia seeds are an incredible seed. When liquid is added to them, they contain a gelatinous property, so they make it's a really good food for pudding. We add coconut to it, which is super antioxidant rich, a natural metabolizer and kind of fat booster. Actually, coconut gets a bad rap because it has a lot of fat, but it also helps you break down and metabolize fat. So Erin, yeah.
Yeah. So Erin, why don't you take us through it?
Yeah, great. So we're making the coconut chia pudding. And I've got chia seeds in this bowl, along with some coconut flakes, shredded coconut flakes that I've just toasted in the oven for a couple of minutes. You really have to watch it, otherwise it burns really quickly. And then we're gonna add 2 cans of this organic coconut milk. This is culinary grade coconut milk. You can find it in the Asian section of your grocery stores. I would stay away from anything that you find in the refrigerated section or the boxed coconut milks, because they have a lot of stabilizers and gums and things like that that you just don't want ingesting. So this is pretty much pure coconut milk, and it's full fat. So we're gonna add 2 cans in here, and there's sort of a layer of cream at the top that is gonna come out
Looks yummy.
really fast. Yeah, it's delicious. And like sometimes if I have any left over, I'll add it to my coffee, and it makes like the best creamer in the morning.
All right, I'm gonna
too.
note that.
It's delicious. It's really good. So coconut milk, chia seeds, toasted coconut flakes, and we're just gonna whisk this until it's really combined. And the chia seeds will start to gel really fast, but it takes them a good 5 minutes to sort of start to set, and then we're gonna leave this in the fridge for a good hour, and it's gonna become this really thick, delicious pudding. So you could leave it in the bowl like this, or after it's gelled, then I'll also put it in little like Tupperwares or mason jars or something, and you can top it with like fruit and cinnamon, and then you've got these like little grab and go, you know, little parfaits for the week that make it like super easy to just like grab and run out the door.
So that's one of the meal preps
Yeah.
that you're talking about, that you could
Exactly.
prepare this on Sunday and have it for the week.
Exactly. You can prepare it in individual mason jars. The good thing about this pudding is I look at it as both a breakfast and a dessert, and also a snack. My 19-year-old son actually also loves it, so I feel like I'm giving him something really healthy, but he thinks it's a treat. It is really a treat. To make it less fattening, if you were trying to be conscious of fat intake, you can do it with regular almond milk, or I've also
half and half.
or half
yeah.
and half. Like do half
Half,
almond milk, half
yeah.
coconut milk. I've also known a lot of athletes to mix protein powder into this. Another really cool way to increase your protein sources and kind of blend it in. Instead of a smoothie, you have your coconut chia pudding with a protein powder, like a plant-based protein powder.
Or you can even take a dollop of this and put it in your smoothie too, as kind
Yeah.
of like a thickener.
Yep.
Like if you want to add some more fruits and greens to
Totally.
it. Yeah.
So we have some beautiful guests here today, and they're going to ask some questions. So I'm going to do a quick introduction, and then we're going to have our first question. So we have Jessica here,
Yes, hi.
and Brandon,
Brandon.
Martha,
Hi there.
and Ilyana.
Hi.
So they have a few questions, and again, Jessica's going to have our first one.
So, as a runner, someone who runs a lot, I'm just wondering how this pudding can benefit a runner or anybody really who works out a lot.
Great question. Sarah?
Chia seeds are an awesome antioxidant food, very flavorful, lots of protein, lots of fiber, is going to keep you full. There's also a lot of bang for its buck in this food, so a couple scoops right before the run, it won't weigh you down, and it will provide everything you need for your run.
All right, ladies, so do we have any more questions about the pudding?
I do. I was wondering, I noticed that Erin used the full fat coconut milk, and I wondered if there's an advantage of that over using a reduced fat.
I like the full fat coconut milk just because I think it makes it a richer pudding and kind of like sticks with you more. But if you are worried about, fat consumption, you could use light coconut milk, or you could sort of swap half of it with like an almond milk or an oat milk. And one of the reasons I like coconut too is I feel like so many people have like nut allergies. So it's a way to, make it kid friendly if, your kids, you're trying to stay away from nuts or an after school snack or something like that. So that's why I personally like coconut milk, and it's just delicious too.
Yeah.
So
There's this old adage of like fat makes you fat. It doesn't. Fat keeps you full. Obviously, there has to be in correct portions, but the moment you introduce diet or light or fat-free, what they've done is replace a whole nutrient-dense food like this with a processed chemical. And
or sugar
or sugar, and it's just fillers that don't keep you full. the process of eating should be a lot about balanced blood sugar levels and keeping you satiated between meals, so you're not a slave to your hunger, so you're not constantly like in the back of your head thinking, when's my next meal? You want to eat a meal and feel like, all right, like that was good.
And you want to enjoy it, you know? Like, this is delicious. Yes, it's higher in fat, but
it will keep you happy. And like that also, like the soul part of food and eating and enjoying, really, it's important. You know, this is not like eating whole milk. It's different.
yeah.
So guys, Moroccan Nourish Bowls.
That's right. It is
Yeah. So we are starting with the first ingredient, which is
harissa flavored spiced carrots.
Yep. And then the roasted chickpeas too.
wonderful. So tell us what we're going to do first.
So first up, I've just sort of washed and chopped up these carrots. Whenever I chop carrots, I kind of like to chop them at like random angles, because then as you roast it, like all the little ends are gonna get like kind of crispy and caramelized. So that's why they're all kind of these like random shapes, that's what gives you that like yummy caramelly flavor. So we've got carrots on this pan, and then on the other pan we're gonna do roasted chickpeas. So these are our plant-based protein, and they're also gonna, like, sometimes I find chickpeas are a little kind of like bland. So we're gonna roast them with olive oil, salt, pepper,
Oh,
these
wonderful.
onions, and some of this harissa spice blend, which is from North Africa. You can find it in a paste too. Either would work fine, but I just like the dried spices better. It's my personal preference for this application.
Couldn't that be a snack too?
It could, yeah.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are like
Okay.
super chickpea poppers.
Yeah,
if you
Erin
just
makes
like,
a really good chickpea
yeah,
popper.
left out the onion, so that's like a good afternoon 4 p.m. snack.
You could make them with chili powder and make them kind of savory, or you could put like cinnamon and some sort of healthy sugar on them and make
Yeah.
them more sweet. Also, chickpeas, similar to quinoa, are a complete protein. So, you really, if you made this Nourish Bowl, you don't really actually need to add an animal protein on top. Like, this would serve as your protein.
Okay, that's
And
good
again,
to know.
Again, good for running and exercising.
And onions are really good for you too.
Very, very
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a good metabolizer and
Your
helping
gut
us-
bacteria
gut
really like it
bacteria.
too.
Oh, okay.
We're all about,
That's a big thing that people are talking about, the gut.
That is
Microbiome.
right.
Yeah, nutrition, right, and the bios. So tell us about that a little bit.
The health of the gut microbiome is, it's super trendy right now, but it is super important. The body needs to metabolize and process food efficiently. A lot of people are walking around, not going to the bathroom properly, and just not really achieving optimal health with their digestive system.
And women
So-
talk about that all the time.
Yeah, and you know what? It's really important to eat foods that are rich in those properties. So one of the things we usually do is we top a lot of our Nourish Bowls with fermented foods like raw sauerkraut, because again, it is very, very healthy in digestive enzymes, helping move things along. It obviously tastes delicious. But so many people struggle with stomach issues, and food really is like a huge, huge source of why.
Right. And it's sauerkraut. Can you buy that anywhere?
You can, but there are definitely different brands that are a lot better to buy.
You want to make sure you get it in the refrigerator case.
Yes, yes, not those bags that are super salty that
Should
you
say
put on a
raw,
hot dog. It should
lacto
say-
fermented.
Right, and Whole Foods has them right next to the eggs.
So fermented is the key word, right?
Fermented, and it's a little bit pricey actually. Like a jar of it,
We only eat like a quarter cup
Yeah.
a day, so
$10 or
yeah.
so. But it's not like the ballpark sauerkraut. Raw fermented.
Yeah.
But if it's for your health, that's
right.
important, right?
Yeah.
Health as well.
Exactly. So you know what? I'm going to have some questions, I think, from the ladies now.
Okay.
Okay. So we've seen some of the prep now, and you have a question for us.
I do. So you keep hearing about root vegetables. So what's the importance of root vegetables?
That's a good one.
So root vegetables, obviously very nutrient dense. It's a slow carbohydrate, so your body takes a long time to break it down. They're low glycemic index, meaning they don't shoot your blood sugar level up and down. So it's like a nice, gentle, steady incline. and they do fall into the starch category. So, starch category of vegetables. If you were trying to be mindful of, of weight loss or sugar levels, like I might suggest you incorporate a kale or a spinach or a broccoli or something that's a little bit less starchy than a carrot or a parsnip or a turnip or a sweet potato or something that's a little bit more in that starch category.
Yeah, and one thing that I really love about root vegetables especially is that they sort of help us control our cravings. So if you give your body these like nutrient dense, like real food carbohydrates, it's not a bread or a pasta or, something like that, that's gonna sort of tell your body like, okay, I'm getting that like little bit of like a carb that I want, but it's not gonna, like Sarah said, spike your blood sugar, and it's gonna prevent you from having that like sugar craving later, because you're kind of
that's a
already
good
giving
call.
your body that carb, but in a much more wholesome manner.
It reminds me of the cauliflower rice trend, which you guys are seeing everywhere too, because it's not a starch like an actual rice or a pasta, but it does give you kind of like a sense of, all right, I just had like a carb.
Yeah, exactly.
But your body breaks it down and processes it much, much more easily than it does rice or pasta. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these things look really yummy, but you have some more things you're going to put in this bowl, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna throw these into the oven, but I've got some quinoa over here that I've cooked up. I love quinoa because it cooks in like 15 minutes. So even if you're making it on a weeknight, you'll still have dinner in, under 30. So I've got some quinoa here, like Sarah was saying, it's a complete protein source, especially paired with the chickpeas. And then all those like fancy Nourish bowls that you see, at the store or when you're out, they always have some sort of like sauce over them. And I feel like tahini is all the rage right now. So we're gonna do
I love
a
tahini.
lemony tahini sauce. So we'll make that shortly as well to sort of
Awesome.
drizzle over it all.
Delicious.
Yeah, so
All
I guess I'll
right.
just throw these in the oven and then
Sounds
we'll move
good.
on.
So guys, now we have the massaged kale salad, which I absolutely love this name. Tell us why it's massaged.
Yeah, so kale, as you know, can be a little hard to digest, and you have to chew it a lot. So by massaging the kale with a little bit of lemon juice too, we're kind of like breaking it down and almost like doing some of the chewing before we eat it, and it just makes it much more tender. And what we love about this salad too is because kale's a heartier green, you can make this and it'll last for several days in the refrigerator ahead of time. So it's like super easy to throw in a Tupperware with some of your roasted carrots, and then you've got like lunch,
Oh,
so
that's good to know.
You can add kale to your smoothies. This is lacinato kale, so it's a Tuscan kale. It's a little bit harder, as Erin said. It does fall into the cruciferous vegetable category, so it is harder to break down and digest. But the lemon sort of alkalizes and neutralizes and just kind of helps create a nice base before the avocado goes in.
Okay, wait a minute. What kind of kale?
Lacinato.
I know, but like you said a word in there that's harder to break down. Okay, so
What did I say?
what did-
Oh, cruciferous.
I don't know that everybody knows what cruciferous is. So
Cruciferous.
I just like, okay, all right.
Cruci-
Obviously, you're not gonna.
No, but that's a good question.
So yeah, so cruciferous.
Cruciferous
What is that?
vegetables are vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale. They're Brussels sprouts they're vegetables that are traditionally harder to digest. A lot of people can't eat cruciferous vegetables because they cause a lot of gas. So they're vegetables that can naturally contain sulfur properties and are hard to break down.
Okay.
So you've heard a lot of people that can't eat cauliflower or broccoli because it hurts their stomach. That's probably
Kale
why.
is the same.
Kale is the same.
But this helps.
This helps. This
Okay.
helps.
All right, Erin, take it away.
Yeah, so we've got our kale, and now we're just gonna take some lemons. For this amount of kale, I'm probably gonna do a lemon and a half. And we're just gonna squeeze the lemons over it. Oops. And then I kind of put my hand here because it'll help catch the seeds.
We'll forgive you if
So,
there's a seed.
I know, there might be like one or two, it's fine. It's fiber, right?
That's right.
All right.
Just toast those.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we've got our lemon juice, and then I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of olive oil, just like a little drizzle.
So sometimes I'm afraid to use olive oil because of the fat. Is that okay to use it? I mean, it's good fat, right?
Yeah, it's good fat.
I would say to try to keep your, keep a serving 2 tablespoons or so. That would be like 1 serving. And again, it is healthy fat. It is going to help keep you full. You know, if you have a salad with no dressing on it, which I think a lot of people do, it's great, but there's got to be a fat in there then. Put some sunflower seeds or an avocado or put some tahini or hummus. Like you need a fat in there to keep you full.
And
otherwise,
also, fat, also certain vitamins, especially in kale and like green vegetables, they're fat soluble, which means you have to eat them with fat in order for your body to be able to absorb
them.
the nutrients.
That's true.
There's that holistic part again, right? Something to think about.
And then lemon, lemon is kind of like the diamonds of this holistic world. Lemons are a magical fruit because they're acidic on the outside, but once they're ingested, they become alkaline and they help neutralize your pH. Again, like back to that gut health. It really helps create, a nice environment for your stomach. If let's say you're out to dinner and you have some acid reflux or you've got an upset tummy, hot water with lemon, do that as opposed to Tums or Zantac or Prilosec or one of those, kind of instant like acid busters.
Exactly.
Lemon is really healing for the gut.
Well, that's good to know.
All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but you see how much it sort of like sunk down and it got sort of like this bright green color. So that's the lemon juice working to sort of like break down the kale. It's almost like when you cook it, right? It like becomes that bright dark green. Well, we're kind of almost like cooking or like marinating the kale a bit. And then if I were to, I'm gonna put some avocado in this, but if I were to save this or use it for my meal prep throughout the week, then I would just put it in a Tupperware like this and add my avocado and my seeds later, because otherwise the avocado is gonna turn brown. So this is the massage part, and now we're gonna add the avocado. So your hands get dirty. It's just like a part of it. And then it's gonna.
Are there any special kind of avocados that we should buy?
Avocados are actually one of the vegetables that you do not have to buy organic. The shell protects it, and organic avocados are traditionally very expensive. Avocados in general are, but it's one of those things you don't have to buy organic. So enjoy that little budget saver.
All right, so this is like kind of, we're really getting in here, but it creates the most delicious dressing, I promise.
So that's the dressing you're creating
This is the
there.
dressing, with the avocado. So we've got, just like I put hardly any olive oil just to kind of get it going. And then you've got this avocado that's...
And so you do need to use a lot of kale because you see how it's shrinking down.
Yeah. This is 3 bunches.
This is 3 bunches, yeah.
It's like spinach. I mean,
Yeah, it's
it
like
shrinks
spinach
down
when
to
it
nothing.
cooks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yep,
All right, well,
so good.
yeah, Sarah and I love it. It's delicious.
And
So,
I give this to a lot of clients because it's so easy, it's so healthy.
yeah, do you want to put some salt in there?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Teamwork.
Yeah, exactly. My hands
Get
are
your kids
clearly-
involved.
Actually, kids love to like de-stem the kale. It's like a really good project for them to kind of get them involved with the vegetables, because you're just like peeling off, the little leaves, and it's easy for them to do.
The more exposure, the better.
Yeah, get the kids in the kitchen. They'd love to like smush it up too. What kid wouldn't want to do that? So we've got that.
Give that to them because I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Stem this, please, yeah.
So there's that, and then we're gonna top it, Sarah, if you want to do it while I wash my hands, with pumpkin seeds and hemp seeds.
Okay, pumpkin seeds and hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are an unbelievable, for the runner in the room, protein source. 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds has 25 grams of protein. That's as much as a piece of chicken.
Really?
They are the mothership of all vegetarian protein sources. And they taste delicious. When you blend them, they become like super creamy. I also, you can also put these in a lot of like breakfast foods like oatmeal, quinoa, Erin has an amazing recipe for a cinnamon quinoa crunch with pecans, and you put hemp hearts or hemp seeds in it with coconut oil. It is amazing. So anyways, super, super protein dense here.
Yeah, just like over the top.
Now, did you do something to prepare it to be like this, or did you buy it this way?
This is from her kitchen.
Yeah, I just brought my kitchen with me. But you can, like, for so many of these things, I'll buy them in the bulk bins because it's a great way to save money. You know, if you go to like your Whole Foods or your Fairway, they'll have it. And then you just buy what you need too.
But you didn't have to do anything to that. It just
No.
comes that
They
way.
just
come
comes that way.
in a bag. Yeah. Pepitas, also known as pumpkin seeds, are a big, big beauty food. Really good for skin, hair, nails. Also super rich in vitamin K and D. What else?
Yeah, they're high in zinc too.
That's
so as like we're hopefully past the cold and flu season now that it's spring, even though there's snow outside. Zinc is a really good way to boost your immune system naturally. So I like snack on these all through the winter.
Yeah, so good.
You always need your immunity up anyway,
You do.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
The summer cold is no fun.
Yes. So
Yeah, so this
There
is
you have
our salad.
So we just saw massaged kale salad being made, which looks yummy. But you have a question for us, Brandon.
Yeah, can you buy this type of kale at any type of grocery store?
you can buy this kale at any type of grocery store. Believe it or not, the most mainstream grocery stores now have every different variation of kale. There's curly kale, there's Tuscan kale, which is what this is.
Yeah.
There's two other types that I'm blanking on the name of, but
There's a red kale.
there is a red kale.
Yeah.
It all kind of depends on, what you prefer for taste. But yes, it is readily available and not expensive. So
Yeah, exactly.
important to know.
All right, guys, so is this the last thing we're preparing?
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Yeah!
Matcha pistachio hemp energy bites.
Lovely.
Yeah, a mouthful, but they're
Yes.
they're very good.
Tell us about them.
So these are, Sarah and I love these like energy bites because you've got dates, and these have cashews and pistachios and other like good healthy fats. So they're like a perfectly poppable bite for like when you're like in your car and you're running around or you just like need something. It's like so often you like see those like energy bars that you can buy at like, the grocery store or, the
Like a Cliff, it's like
Yeah,
a
like-
healthy Cliff bar. Like
Exactly.
people have been saying like this tastes like a Cliff bar, but it's healthy.
Okay.
Doesn't have all the fillers and additives and soy in it and
Yeah.
everything. That this is super clean, grab and go, and it gives you again, without being super carbohydrate rich, it gives you that like satiated. Oh, I just had like a little cookie snack, kind of a good 3 or 4 o'clock snack or pre-workout, I think.
Yeah, I'm really guilty about the nutrition bars, but I guess there's not so much nutrition.
Right. Yeah, it's not a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started.
Yeah. So these, I make energy bites out of like a bunch of different stuff, but these I thought were fun because they've got the matcha in them, which is a green tea powder. I don't know, you'll sort of see it, it's sort of popping up. I think even Starbucks has matcha nowadays.
Super trendy.
Yeah, super trendy, but also really good for you, really high in antioxidants, and it has, it is a source of caffeine, but it's sort of like a more mellow calm of caffeine than you get from a coffee caffeine. So it's not going to make you like go really sky high and
true.
drop. It's much more of like an even energy.
It's not like that like grip.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have Starbucks and you're like,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
This is like,
Yeah.
Well, we love
steady
Starbucks.
climb, but
I
we
know.
love Starbucks.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
matcha is actually really
less
good
of
for an afternoon caffeine if you want
Yeah,
something,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, is coffee good for you?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
really
I wanna
funny.
know.
Yeah. So what's interesting is coffee is actually the #1 source of antioxidants for the majority of Americans.
You see
Which-
how
Boom.
important it is?
Coffee
Yeah.
with Marci.
Coffee!
That is right.
All right, now
Yeah.
back to this.
Back to this. So I've got my food processor here, and we're gonna add some raw cashews and some raw pistachios first. And I love these two because it's like the measurements don't have to be perfectly exact. I'm not a baker. I would love to be a baker, but it's just not something that I focus on. So I make a lot of these things because you don't have to be super precise.
I'm good with that.
So our nuts, and then we're gonna add our coconut.
Back to the coconut.
Back to the coconut. Sarah and I love coconut.
Oh, coconut.
Yeah. And back to our hemp seeds too. So
More
we're adding,
protein.
yeah.
I
really
tell you,
good
I am
protein.
going to get that.
Yeah,
sure.
they're so
Hemp,
yummy.
They're so good.
Yeah, like sprinkle them on oatmeal, salads, anything.
If you don't want to use a protein powder in a smoothie, you could use these as your protein substitute.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't necessarily need hemp seeds and a protein powder. You could use either or.
Let me just get this on. So we're just gonna pulse it. Ooh, overflow. It's a little loud, but yeah. So you just kind of want like a coarse flour crumb. So we've got that, and then we're going to add our dates. And I have to, so these are medjool dates. I like them because they're usually pretty sticky, and they've got this pit in them that you want to make sure you take out before you throw them in your energy bites. And sometimes they can be a little hard too. So if they're too hard, then I'll just soak them in warm water for like 5 minutes and they'll soften right up. So we're gonna add 12 of these.
So when you go to a smoothie bar, a lot of smoothies on the menu have dates in them. They also have bananas. You don't need to double up on your sugar for smoothies. Get rid of the banana or get rid of the date, or ask for a quarter of the banana and get rid of the date. You don't need all of that sugar. They're so sweet. That would be my recommendation. They are healthy, but it's still, they still have some sugar properties to them.
All right, so I've just added in here, I've got my dates. I've got a little coconut butter, which is basically just the shredded coconut that is kind of like pulverized and to create sort of like a nut butter. So this is just kind of a fat that's gonna help bind the energy ball.
And where do you find that?
You can find this at a lot of grocery stores now too. I like this brand, this Artisana, but a lot of other companies make it too. It's just literally coconut butter, not coconut oil. Otherwise, if you don't use coconut oil, or you'd have a really oily energy bite. And then this is our matcha powder. It's like a really bright green. I love it. I love the way it like smells. Right?
It's a highly concentrated green tea.
Yeah, and this is what I use if I make like a matcha latte at home. So this is ceremonial grade matcha. And a lot of times people find matcha really bitter, and that's if you're using like a cooking matcha that you'd use for like cupcakes or something like that. So this is actually the more concentrated, sort of like better for you matcha.
It's funny. I have a friend that has a line called Heart and Soul, and that is what the face mask smells like.
Oh, really?
Yes, that must be the base of it.
There you go.
Funny.
Yeah.
Matcha is, the price range of matcha can go from, $5 or $6 a bag or a box to like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay.
People that get really into tea, matcha, like you can go find special matcha that is very, 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 very expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So now I'm just gonna blend this all together again. All right, so then I'll like check it every once in a while and we'll see. So this needs a little more blending, but I want it to start to sort of like come together in like a little ball. So when you press it between your fingers, it'll stick together.
All right, so Cynthia has joined us, and we're glad to have you, but you have a question about this.
So if you do have a nut allergy, is there a substitute that you can put in instead of the pistachios and cashews?
Yeah, so I think sunflower seeds would work if you wanted to, or pumpkin seeds even, if you wanted to do a mix of that. That's what I love about these energy balls, is you can literally just, as long as your volume is the same and your ratios are the same, then you can pretty much put whatever you want and sort of experiment around with them. Yeah. So this is how we sort of make the balls too. So this is a finished one, but like as I showed you earlier, you want to pulse it enough so that it kind of sticks together. And then just take about a table size portion and squeeze it between your hands. And then if you just kind of roll it, it creates these little energy bites. And we're going to put them in the refrigerator after this for maybe half an hour, and they'll kind of set up.
So guys, I'm so excited to introduce you to the guests that have joined us. Are you guys enjoying this?
Yeah.
Yay! Yeah, it looks so delicious, right? And we all could use a quick meal and the prep and learning about that, because I know that I struggle with that desperately. So it's been so invaluable, the information we've received. But I wanted to meet you ladies and tell our audience what you do in the community and why this is important to you. So we'll start with you, Eliana.
Okay, well, I'm an actress, so I'm always on the go. Sometimes I'm on set, or sometimes I'm in a trailer for hours waiting for my scene. And to be able to have a healthy snack, it's true that they do provide healthy things, but not always. So it's nice to know, or you're driving somewhere for 3-4 hours. It's nice to know that you've got that, because we were just talking about that. About, on the go, that's when you really make terrible choices. So if you have something already prepared, it makes it easier.
I find that it's really hard in the car. Absolutely. I mean, I'm grabbing nuts or whatever I can get, so it's good. I'd rather have these, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Brandon, why don't you come around here?
Hi.
Brandon with Lady Savant.
Hi. Yeah, this is really important to me because I have 3 little ones under 9 now. And I own 2 businesses, and it's just I'm really busy. I'm always on the go. So it's always nice to have something that I can cook healthy, quick, fast, and
So Brandon, I just want to give a little plug for this event that's coming up. We just had to change it because of the snowstorm. But tell us about that really quick.
Yeah, so I am one of the founders of Lady Savant Foundation, and we are all about empowering, collaborating with women, and empowering the next generation. And we are having a fundraiser, a luncheon, coming up April 18th. And we have a great panel of speakers. It's fashionandphilanthropy.com. You can go there to find out more information. But it's sold out, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But they can still donate if they want to support.
Yes. We are looking for sponsors. We're working on building a school in Liberia. Oh, wow. So we need all the support we can get.
Great. And coffee will be there. I'm
Yes,
excited to be a
coffee
part
will
of
be
it. So Cynthia, hello.
Hello, I'm from Wyckoff, and I'm a working mom also. And just like the other lady said, it's just important to have good, nutritious food on the go that you can, that's where I feel like you make the most bad choices, is when you're on the go and it's not readily available. And I feel these are some great choices for the family and for me in the car.
Exactly. And this meal prep, I mean, finding that you can do all these things and it stays good for the week and you can just grab it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So hello, Martha.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
So tell us about yourself.
So I'm Martha Fickinger. I've lived in Bergen County for 22 years. I am the married mom of 2 teenage boys. And I'm building a fashion startup. So I'm working with an athleisure company called Peach. So my days are busy, and I always try to provide my kids with healthy alternatives to the over-processed fast foods that are available to them. And it's always great to have ideas of things that are quick and easy and still appealing.
Right, that tastes good, right? And Jessica, last but not least,
Hi.
tell us about yourself and your show. You have a great show.
Yeah, so I'm doing a baking show.
Yes,
so that's a little
baking,
bit
so-
opposite of this. But so Baker's Apprentice, so it's going to be on NJ On Air, which your show's on as well.
NJ
But-
on Air. Yeah, we'll
Yep.
talk about that a little bit too.
So NJ On Air is a streaming TV channel that we just launched. So it's available on, it's all for the state of New Jersey. So it's a bunch of different programming, a lot of different people joining and putting their shows on, like you, like Coffee with Marci. We have my show, Baker's Apprentice, and it's available on Apple, so Android, Apple, Roku, pretty much anywhere. And it's great because you could just pull out your phone and just start watching. Right?
Everyone's
So it's
watching on their devices.
Yeah.
So this show will actually be on NJ on Air also. But you're also a mother, so
I'm a
you've
mom,
got a
and I
full
work
plate
another
yourself.
job. Yep. So I have a full-time job too, and I'm a mom. So I'm always looking for healthy recipes.
Right.
I'm not the chef in the family. My husband is, but my son loves to eat chocolate chip pancakes all of the time. So that's like the worst thing for him to be eating. So it's good to get ideas, and I'm a runner, so this is this is good for me.
Finding good proteins,
Definitely.
right? And how these foods and ingredients actually work with your body, with your mind, and feeling full, right? And feeling satisfied. Exactly. That's a big part of it. All right, ladies. So now we get to go eat this fabulous food. Yay! So ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us these amazing tips and this amazing food. It's beautiful. Will you tell us one more time what we have in front of us?
Yeah, so we've got here our chia pudding that we made earlier. We topped it with some pistachios, cinnamon, cacao nibs, which is a raw chocolate, and some goji berries, which you can find in the bulk food aisle usually, really high in antioxidants. And then we've got our Nourish bowls over here. These are the chickpeas and red onions that we roasted, carrots with some almonds and some greens on top. Then we've got quinoa to sort of mix in with the vegetables over here for extra protein. Tahini sauce, which is just lemon and some water and tahini. Our massage kale salad that we made with avocado and pepitas and hemp hearts. And then our pistachio matcha hemp energy bites.
It all looks so amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Now we get to eat this yummy, yummy food.
Thank you,
And thank
Marci.
you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're going to eat now.
Thanks.